there you all are. Probably a reduced number of you, given that we don't spring forward here in Ireland until the last weekend in March. And I believe a lot of you in the States and Canada have sprung forward this past weekend, for which my sympathies. Welcome to the Mythical Ireland Library and to Live Irish Myths, episode number 364. This week we're continuing where we left off 2 weeks ago with Lady Gregory's Complete Irish Mythology, Cúchulain of Muirthemne. We were reading about the bulls, and I noticed, I remember that the live stream ended abruptly for technical reasons unrelated, I think, to anything I was doing here. An issue on the broader internet, somewhere out there in the webosphere. So we'll backtrack a few paragraphs just to pick up on that. Anyway, you're very welcome to the library. If you're watching, whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook, please do comment and join in the conversation, especially if you're new. Actually, where is the Obsidian book? I suspect it will be in use today. I suspect, am I right in saying, yeah? So the time difference between, the time difference is an hour. It's usually 5 hours from 8 p.m. to, say, New York's 3 p.m. And now that's reduced to 4 hours. So does that mean some people will turn up an hour late thinking they're on time? Maybe. Anyway, thanks to Auntie Joe for putting up the notice on the Mythical Ireland community to alert people to the fact that the times have changed. Anyway, let us say hello to the people who are here. Unsurprisingly, Elaine Dent-Lingenfelter is first. Whoops, I got here too early the first time. Lol. Hello, Anthony and all the two from a warm day in Central Texas. 25.5 Celsius. Oh my God. She's boasting already. What are we supposed to do about that? It is 7 degrees Celsius here on the east coast of Ireland in the Boyne Valley. Can't complain though. We had a beautiful weekend and a lot of blue sky and sunshine, and the days are much longer than they used to be in the winter. So looking forward to the sun shining in as we're doing our live streams in the not too distant future. Snapper Earl declares, I'm here, as am I, and it's great to see you. Sue Prenter saying, ready and waiting. Hello to all our fur babies are lined up under the TV to listen to our leader. Brilliant stuff. Hello, furry ones, tail waggers. Dick Scratcher is saying, good evening, one and all. Yes, good evening to you. What's your real name, by the way? Lily Shambles is saying, good evening and welcome to my kitchen. It's been a while. I could have sworn you were on last week's live stream. It's been 7 days. Yes, indeed. 71 Celsius here now, declares Snapper. 71 F to C is 21.6667. That's pretty nice. Joe Butler, Auntie Joe saying hello from Colorado. I hope all of you are well. I can't talk for the rest of them, but I'm okay. Everything okay? Yes. Volume 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Is that okay? Yeah. Can you hear me all right? Amanda June says hello. Good evening, Amanda June. You're welcome. Goddess Bonia, who is John Main, says greetings to everyone. From a cold and windy northeasterly winds, Kissamos in Crete. Brrr. Sounds very Irish, John. As always, great to see you. Adina Sparks is saying, afternoon, Anthony and the two are from a sunny day in New Mexico. Glad your group had such a great time, Anthony. Looks like you found another avenue to fill your spare time. I don't know how I ever got time for full-time work. I'll be honest. I'll speak about that in a moment. About the course. Brendan Byrne says, good evening, everyone. Congrats, Anthony, on all the new adventures. Special call out to the Denver tour. Thank you indeed, Brendan. Yes. And the Tour de Denver. Yes. Anne Scott Doherty is now safely ensconced in southern Oregon. As you know, she recently had a top level mission flying directly from Grants Pass to Drogheda Airport. To impress upon me the need to bring back the Obsidian book. And it's back. I wonder if a lot of folks came at 2 and thought you weren't going to be here. Possibly, yeah, but it's very confusing, you know. The spring forward thing, we should all do it together, shouldn't we? You know, And I think we should spring forward at the same time as the States. I said that last year. I like the fact that it seems like an awful long time to wait to the end of March to spring forward. Anyway, as I say, the days are getting longer. We can't complain. Sandra Boothroyd is saying, evening, I'm on time. Woohoo! Yes, I think people... Excuse me, please. I think people are inclined to be on time now so they don't get their names written in the Obsidian book. Lexi Erickson, hello Lexi, a very good afternoon to you. From the Boyne Valley, Johnny Wilson is saying a big howdy from Dallas, Texas, where it's 26. Stop boasting. Send a few degrees our way, will you? It's 4 o'clock in New York State now, says Snapper Earl. Yeah, exactly. So it would usually be 3 o'clock. So you have to wait an extra hour for a couple of weeks, but then we'll be back to normal when we spring forward. Valentina Bernardi says, good evening from a very misty Isle of Avalon. Very misty and mysterious, mystical. Marilyn Whitney saying, we have, no, I came an hour early. Hello to it and Anthony. Beautiful spring day in Michigan, 54 and sunny. What's 54 in Celsius? It's 12.22222. So it's warmer than us. 69 in Denver, 20 Celsius, says Lexi. Dick Scratcher. Richard. Very good, Richard. If you don't mind, I might just call you Richard. For reasons that don't need explaining, I hope. Mariana Dunn says, Bannock dear to a furry ones and Anthony Murphy from... Full title, Anthony Murphy from sunny spring-like Alexandria, Virginia. Glad to hear it. As I say, it's making such a difference here. We had 2 months where it rained every day. It was cold and overcast and breezy, and it just wasn't nice. Richard Burgess is saying, hello, everyone from a sprung forward New York. Oh, the times, they are a changing. Yes, indeed. And they're going to change for us in a couple of weeks. And then all will be normal again. Been a while since I invited you all to my kitchen. What's cooking or baking? Are you making something to spread around? Something for us all to enjoy. It stays light out so long now. My husband asked when I was going to make dinner at 6 p.m. and thought it was still 4 p.m. See, there you go. Yeah. Marching, the time marches forward. Do you like that? Rothio Marianne Lopez says, hello, Mighty Tua and Mr. Anthony. We've been having a lot of sunshine and cloudy skies as well here in Mexico, Puebla. I just finished cooking. If anyone wants to join me on the table, I prepared meatballs in red sauce. I swear it's not as spicy as you might think. I'm ready. Opened book for the next chapter of Cúchulain's story. I'll be in Facebook and YouTube as well. Brilliant stuff, Rossio, and thank you for joining us. Desiree Riley, whose name is really Desiree, by the way, for all the newcomers. Hello, everyone. Been busy packing to move to Colorado Springs. Really excited to be moving so much closer to the rest of the tour de Denver. Special thanks to Auntie Joe and Lexi for all their love and support during my job and house hunting. I can't wait to see all brilliant stuff. Look at that. You know, and there was us thinking that the tour de Denver were a bunch of rapscallions and reprobates, and it turns out, no, they're really nice people. Joking, of course. Paul Goran is with us. Evening all. I'm practically an outsider due to multiple absences. Yeah. You're busy fixing airplanes, Paul. You're keeping people in the sky. I mean, we can't complain about that too much, you know, but you're very, very welcome as always. Snapper Earl says, apparently we are done with this time change thing. This was the last bringing back or forward from what I understand. Well, the Irish government agreed to, I think the European Union agreed to scrap it. And the Irish government said, yeah, we'll do that too. But that was like 5 or 6 years ago. And it's still happening because I think they realized it's not actually as simple to scrap it as you think. Do you stay on winter time or do you stay on daylight savings time? And the point is, whether you do one or the other, you lose out at some point of the year. Brendan Byrne just poured a Guinness to listen to the show and saw the engraving on the glass put there by my daughter. A wizard is never late. I like that. You know, the Guinness and the engraving. A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. He arrives precisely when he means to. Nor is he early. Hello from a lovely Tucson, Arizona. That's from Barbara Murphy. 71 Celsius. No, that's definitely not right. That's definitely 71F. If it's 71 Celsius, you'd be burning like a crisp. but projecting 93. Wow, so you're nearly at 22. 93 would be the best part of 34. Wow. And Arizona doesn't change clocks. Not as much need for children to work in the fields. That was the professed reason for the change. So why bother? Seriously, why change the clock? Well, in Ireland, it's a different story. If you stay on daylight savings time, it wouldn't be getting bright until 9:30 in midwinter. If we stay on winter time, the sun would be rising at before 4 a.m. in midsummer, and we'd lose an hour in the evening. So I don't know, maybe his name is Richard Scratcher. Michael Trott is saying Kia ora. Hayeri mai, I don't know how to pronounce that, to the mystic Tua, ancient interest and weather people. From a sunny early autumnal Tuesday in Auckland, New Zealand, Aotearoa. We have not sprung back the clock here yet. Just after 9 a.m. Hugs in mad world. Yep, hugs all round, folks. Oh, it is mad. There's some mad shit going on. There really is. Ola Conrad says, hello from Denmark, but I'll be most on tea with a druid for the first half. And I just don't understand this. How tea with a druid can possibly compete with live Irish Myths. I mean, I bet you tea with a druid doesn't tell cheesy dad jokes. Oh, come to think of it, that might be why you're watching tea with a druid instead of live Irish Myths. Or you're trying to listen to both. Nice. Well, you have two ears, one in one ear, one in the other. Yes, indeed. It would be better to leave the clocks alone. Europe wanted to do it, but the British wouldn't agree. I think Canada will stop it next year. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Sorry for the orthographic horrors. I was writing in a rush. That's okay. It's completely okay. We got the gist. I want the springing forward and backward to continue. 53 years of enjoying the benefits of both. I'm with Paul, just for the record. Just making dinner, says Lily. Mince and onion pie and suet pastry. Anthony, wake up. Suet pastry. Roast and braised veg. Collie cheese mash. Mushy peas. Can you send me your address? I'll be over there in 10 minutes. It sounds lovely. Don't forget to dish it around. Digital is poop. Digitalis puperia. I have no idea how to say that. Hi, welcome to Live Irish Myths. My name is Anthony. You'll get a very warm welcome here. One plate coming, says Rossio. Brilliant stuff. How is Muirthemne pronounced, please? There you go, Muirthemne. Yeah, I can understand if it's like on Saturday there were some Welsh names, and there was a lady at our course who was born in Wales, and she was able to pronounce them for us. When you look at that phonetically, you would go Muirthemne. Muirthemne is how you say it. Tea with a druid does not compete. Glad to hear it. Getting more and more international. Yes, indeed. Tea with a druid is Philip Carr Goran Weekly Talk. Former chosen chief of Obod, the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids, I believe that is. If I go for a second Guinness, the other glass says, all that wonder are not lost. My daughter sent the humor. What can I say? Well, she didn't lick that up off a stone. As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but as Caitlin Moon said at one time last year, neither do the nuts. And I love the Lord of the Rings quotes. Not all who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. Brian McKay says, hello, Fascawa Atua. Their tea is neo-pagan, not Gaelic like your tea, Sarah Anton. Lol. Yeah. Look, whatever you have in yourself kind of thing, Is it Muirthemne? No, is the quick answer. Muirthemne. When I cook, I really cook, says Lily. Enough to go around, and then some. Brilliant. Great to hear. Right, folks, as soon as she pops the address in, let's head over to hers. Amanda June wants some Yorkshire puddings. I will send you over some Dutch baby. Lol. Dutch baby. What is that? Is that food? Pardon my ignorance. No, it's not Muirthemne. It's more, and it's not even more. It's like more for the sea. The plain covered by the sea is what it actually means. You're very welcome. Digitalis poop. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. Road trip, lol. Yeah. Well, plane trip in our case, because I think that she lives across the water in another country. Yes, slightly reduced attendance, which I suspect is related to the whole springing forward thing. We will see in an hour's time if we're still reading, that is. In an hour's time, not in an hour's time, in 45 minutes' time at 9 o'clock. If there's a whole lot of people arriving and going, hello, Tua, I'm here, we'll know. We will know that they haven't been paying attention. And they will have their names recorded in the black book. Tua to Denver are still reprobates. I love Yorkshire pudding. Can I invite myself? Says Valentina. So Muirthemne was a high king? No, it was a region. Where I live now in the county of Louth, its ancient name was Muirthemne. And the story is, as related in Tuchmark Emera, the wooing of Emer from Toynbee Killing It Well, from the Ulster cycle, is that at one time there was a sea, a magic sea that covered the whole plain that was known as Muirthemne. And that's what it means, Muirthemne. Muir is still the Irish word for sea, M-U-I-R, the plain covered by the sea, and that there was a great sort of monster, like a Muirshellaka, what is the translates as sea snail or something like that, believed to be something like an octopus, and the Dagda clubbed it on the head 3 times to kill it, and then the sea receded and the land was revealed again. Will they all go to the Obsidian Book? I don't know. It kind of seems unfair, doesn't it, to punish them for antiquated clock changes, you know? When I cook, I'm usually reheating something someone else cooked for me. Same. You wouldn't want to taste my cooking, I'm telling you. Yeah, that'd clear the place fairly quickly. Anyway, before we begin reading or picking up where we left off last week, so we held this inaugural 1-day course, an introduction to Ireland's myths and legends, on Saturday, hosted by my good self, Mr. Anthony Murphy of Mythical Ireland, and we had a lovely group in attendance. It's after happening there. It's after doing it again. It's really strange. So look, it's after popping back to last week's title, 363. It's not 363, it's 364. Oh my god. Sorry, just bear with me a second because I'm going to change that. That's annoying me. Don't know why it does that. 364, Cúchulain of Muirthemne, episode 23. Right, okay, that's back. Sorry about that. I hope everybody's still seeing everything and it's okay. Stream down. Where is he gone again? Oh. Okay, I need to wait. Are we okay? I see 364, says Amanda June. Okay. Am I back? Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday is it? John Ross. I missed some comments, did I? Ah, there you go. John Ross. Hi, Mythical Ireland. Today is my birthday. I'm 37. Happy birthday, John. Another March hare, like myself. Mine is a little bit away. Actually, no way. my birthday is on a Monday this year. Yes, I'm expecting presents from all of you. I'm joking. But you can definitely say happy birthday to me in 2 weeks' time. Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened. Literally, what happens is my screen goes blank, and it pops back up again with last week's title on it instead of this week's. So I have no idea. Maybe a driver issue. Well, I'm sitting on a chair. I'm not driving. Oh, terrible. I know. Sorry. It's the yes, the unmentionables, Desiree. Yes. Amanda June says it's my unbirthday. One of the many, huh? Oh, brilliant. Mata said to be an octopus and sea turtle, and one said it had 80 something limbs. The defeat of the Mata by Andagda is similar to the world turtle and Lady of Heaven in Deism. Yeah, I've written quite a lot about, as you probably know, in Mythical Ireland and in my Bowen monograph in particular. It's an old creation myth. We talked about that on Saturday at Glebe House. Anyway, if any of you are in Ireland or coming to Ireland in early April, I'm running the course again, the same thing. Saturday was something of a trial run, and it went very well. There's very, very little that I would change. Anyone interested in participating in a day-long introduction to Irish mythology and legend at a beautiful setting, Glebe House, right beside the great megalithic monument of Doubt, I'm just going to paste the link in where you can book your place. And if you can't, maybe you might spread the word. The good news is I was intending to launch it today, but I'm just waiting on some tweaks to the Mythical Ireland website. No, it's not going to be a major overhaul. Some tweaks, especially to the homepage. And in the next day or two, I am going to launch the online version. So we've had this in person. And again, for those of you who didn't see share a how do I share this post on Facebook? I'm going to share a Facebook link where you can see just a picture from Saturday's course. I was really lovely, and you know what? The feedback has been fantastic. But as I say, I'm running the same thing again, and get your tickets on the website because book your place because places are limited, and it is booking fast. I'm glad to report, even though it is several weeks away. The online version is not an all-day course. It will be held on Tuesdays. Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Irish time. So I'm doing the live stream on Mondays at 8 p.m. So the following day. And that begins, let me just double check this so that I have it right. I do not want to give you false information. The online version, The online version begins, I think it's the week after St. Patrick's Day. It begins on Tuesday, the 24th of March. And then, so each session will be an hour to an hour and a half, probably an hour and a half, to be honest. 24th of March, 31st of March, 7th of April, and 14th of April. So booking will be available on the Mythical Ireland website. I will announce it on social media. I might do a quick live stream about it when I launch it. There will be discounts. If you're a patron, if you're a paying patron of Mythical Ireland, you will get a discount according to what level of patronage you're on. And if you're subscribed to the email newsletter, you will also get a discount. So you know what to do. Subscribe to the newsletter. That's free. You don't need to pay to do that. I'll share that link now. There we go. That link should appear momentarily. So pop your email in there. Subscribe to the email newsletter. Generally one email a week. It's not like 3 emails a day or anything. You won't be overloaded with spam. And please, if you can, consider becoming a patron, a paying patron, preferably at the Bronze Age level or above. And if you do, again, you will have an extra discount there off the online course. The online course is going to be basically a replication of the one-day in-person course, but obviously it'll be held on Zoom for people who are either in Ireland and can't make it on the Saturday dates that we've organised for Glebe House, or abroad, whether that's in the UK or in Denmark or in Aotearoa or in Canada or in the US or in Mexico or wherever, or in Spain or in Timbuktu or in Antarctica. Providing you have internet coverage, you will get a Zoom link, and it will be done over Zoom. The great thing is, if you have to miss one of the 4 sessions, they will be recorded, and I will upload them on a private link that will be available to all the participants afterwards. So, do I get 2 discounts being subscribed and a patron? Yes, that's what I'm saying, Amanda June. So you will get a discount according to the level of patronage you are at, plus a discount for... Now, I haven't exactly just finally decided exactly what discount, but there'll be money off, just put it that way. So hopefully loads of you will participate. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you. Again, I gave out physical copies of the course notes on Saturday. It's a 50-page document. I will make available a PDF, a downloadable PDF version of that, and we'll be reading a lot of it on the screen anyway. And a lot of discussion, and we went down rabbit holes. You'll see that from 1 or 2 of the Google reviews that were posted afterwards. We did go down some rabbit holes, and the participants seemed to have enjoyed that immensely. So, sign up as soon as you see it. As I said, hopefully tomorrow I will launch it. The spaces on the online course are not limited. Obviously, Glebe House, the room that we're in, there's a limit to how many people you can get in there, and that's fair enough. But the online version, there won't really be a restriction. So there you go. Somebody's saying happy belated birthday to Michael Trott. Did we miss your birthday, Michael? Happy birthday to you, and many more of them. Hooray for an online class, says Auntie Joe. And I expect to see you there. I know I will. Happy birthday, Lexi. Is Lexi's birthday as well? Of course, it's that time of year. There's loads of the 2 have birthdays in March. I know this because my own is in March. I missed some comments then, did I? How about we just give you our presents? You can give me plenty of presents for my birthday. Oh, very funny. Brad M is saying, Ferry Faye, Tua de Dannon, she, greetings. Hello, Brad. Is it Bradham or Brad M? Michael announces that he'd be happy to go back to 27. Isn't your birthday coming up? And Lexi, isn't yours? Yes, mine is, as I said, 2 weeks from now. And the feed seems to be stuttering a lot today, and that's not surprising. Don't forget the YouTube feed is generally more stable. My birthday is tomorrow. I'm 37 again and again. Well, happy birthday to you, Lexi. And many, many, many more of them from all of us. Brilliant. Am I missing anything? I feel like I am, but I will, if I remember it, I will come back to it. Yeah, sorry, the screen isn't freezing. I'm just looking at something else. So I'm backtracking a couple of paragraphs on account of the fact that the last time we were reading this story, which is 2 weeks ago, there were technical issues. The Facebook feed ended completely, and the YouTube feed froze pretty much. So I'll go back a couple of paragraphs. Now, when the brown bull came into Connacht and saw the beautiful trackless country before him, he let 3 great loud bellowings out of him. As soon as the white horn heard that, he set out for the place those bellowings came from, with his head high in the air. Then Maeve said that the men of her army must not go to their homes till they would see the fight between the two bulls. And they all said someone must be put to watch the fight and to give a fair report of it afterwards. This is, folks, Iron Age journalism. And it is what they agreed, that Brickrew should be sent to watch it, because he had not taken any side in the war, for he had been through the whole length of it under care of physicians at Cúchulain, with the dint of the wound he got the day he vexed Fergus, and that Fergus drove the chessmen into his head. Nasty. And who said that chess wasn't a contact sport? You could get an injury playing chess, apparently. I will go willingly, said Brickrew. So he went out and took his place in a gap where he could have a good view of the fight. As soon as the bulls caught sight of one another, they pawed the earth so furiously that they sent the sods flying, and their eyes were like balls of fire in their heads. Goodness gracious. See what I did there? Never mind. They locked their horns together, and they ploughed up the ground under them and trampled it. And they were trying to crush and to destroy one another throughout the whole length of the day. And once the white horn went back a little way and made a rush at the brown and got his horn into his side. And he gave out a great bellow, and they rushed both together through the gap where Brickrew was, the way he was trodden into the earth under their feet. And that is how Brickrew of the bitter tongue, son of Carbra, got his death. Then, when the night was coming on, Cormac Coinlingus took hold of a spear shaft, and he laid 3 great strokes on the brown bull from head to tail. And he said, "This is a great treasure to be boasting of, that cannot get the better of a calf of his own age." When the brown bull heard that insult, great fury came on him, and he turned on the white horned again. And all through the night, the men of Ireland were listening to the sound of their bellowing, and they going here and there all through the country. On the morrow, they saw the brown bull coming over Cúchulain from the west, and he carrying what was left of the white horn on his horns. Then Maeve's son, the Manyas, rose up to make an attack on him on account of the Connacht bull he had destroyed. "Where are those men going?" said Fergus. "They are going to kill the brown bull of Cúchulain." "By the oath of my people," said Fergus, "if you do not let the brown bull go back to his own country in safety, all he has done to the white horned is little to what I will do now to you." Wow. That sounds like big words, doesn't it? Then the brown bull bellowed 3 times and set out on his way. And when he came to the great ford of the Shannon, he stopped to drink, and the 2 loins of the white horn fell from his horns into the water. And that place is called Loan, the ford of the loin, to this day. And that is the origin story of the town that is called Athlone on the Shannon, straddling counties Westmeath and Roscommon. And its liver fell in the same way into a river of Meath, and it is called Trim, the ford of the liver, to this day. And that river, by the way, is the River Boyne, and the town is called Trim in County Meath. Trim, T-R-I-M, from Trim, the ford of the liver. Then he went on till he came to the top of Slieve Bra, and when he looked from it, he saw his own home, the hills of Cúchulain. And at the sight of his own country, a great spirit rose up in him, and madness and fury came on him. And he rushed on, killing everyone that came on his way, in his way. And when he got to his own place, he turned back to a hill, and he gave out a loud bellowing of victory. And with that, his heart broke in his body, and blood came bursting from his mouth, and he died. And that is the story of the 2 bulls. Scholars have drawn attention to the fact that there is in that the remnants of a creation myth found in Indo-European mythology relating to the dismemberment of a beast or a giant, a monster, an animal, a god, a goddess, a warrior, and its parts forming different places in the landscape. And we saw similar with the Mata, the story of the Mata being dismembered at Newgrange and thrown into the Boyne, and the story of Bowen herself, who was dismembered in the creation of the river, and parts of her body inspiring parts of the body leading to the creation or to the allocation of names of the different parts of the river. Warning, dad joke. Yeah, and speaking of bovine topics, I've been off work all this week because my pet cow is sick. My boss thinks I'm milking it. Just catching up on the comments. Tom Lawler is in the house from Devil's Bit in County Tipperary, which got a mention at our one-day introduction to Myths and Legends. Saturday, there was a lady there who was originally from that area. Oh, somebody, yeah. Sorry, interrupted. Yes, indeed. Very, very happy birthday to Lexi for tomorrow, I think it is, and a belated happy birthday to Michael Trott. Isn't Venus also a cow? I think so. The cow and the calf, I think. That relatedness in Irish folk stories and mythology may be related to the moon and Venus. For an explanation of that, you'll have to get yourself a copy of Island of the Setting Sun, In Search of Ireland's Ancient Astronomers. Where is that? I'll share a link. If you order it on the Mythical Ireland website, I'll send you a signed copy. Chapter 14 is called The Only Jealousy of Emer. You started this, says Brendan. Yeah, I know. When one door closes, another one opens. Other than that, it's a pretty nice car. Yes, I am. I quit my job after my boss started paying me in vegetables. I could not live off that celery. And more and more. And less, as you. I see the attendance numbers dropping dramatically as I read those jokes. I'm inviting some friends to listen to your reading as well. Brilliant. Tell them to come in. Make themselves comfortable. And if they're in your house, don't forget to feed them. Something not so spicy, perhaps. Brilliant. Hello to all Rossio's friends. Boo. Yeah, well, look. Live Irish Myths comes with a health warning. Expect bad jokes. Some people call them dad jokes. Well, in all honesty, they're just bad jokes. It happened one time, near to the day of Samhain. The men of Ulster came together for games and for feasting on the plain of Muirthemne. Now here we go. A Samhain assembly at Muirthemne. And I'm always interested in these things. Because most of the assemblies were Lunasa assemblies. It's much less it's much less frequent to encounter in Irish mythology mention of Samhain assemblies. There was one at Brunavonia, according to mythology, which is great. And they were all of them there, but Conall Cearnach and Louis of the Red Stripes. As you may know from last week's episode, some of you are new and some of you may have missed it. I have secured a new publisher. My old publisher, Liffey Press, is retired. And my new publisher is Red Stripe Press. And I have to write a book between now and the summertime. And I'm a bit daunted by that, to be honest. But anyway, to be called Ireland, Land of Legend. And if it's published according to the schedule. It will be my 11th published book, so looking forward to that. Louis of the Red Stripes. Let the feast be begun, they said. Wow. See the way I'm always saying that Lady Gregory has a habit of translating directly into English as it is spoken in Irish. Let the feast be begun, instead of saying let the feast begin. Let the feast be begun, they said. It shall not be begun, said Cuchulainn, till Conall and Louis are here. Shanachah the poet said then, let us play chess while we are waiting, and let poems be sung for us, and let games be played. And they agreed to that. So you see there, that's another thing. Poems equals sung. They weren't spoken, they were sung. While they were doing these things, a flock of birds came down on the lake before them, and in all Ireland there were not birds to be seen that were more beautiful. A great longing came on the women that were there to have the birds that were on the lake, and they began to quarrel with one another as to who should have them. King Conchobar's wife said, I must have a bird of these birds on each of my 2 shoulders. An easier way to say that would be, I want one of them birds on each of my shoulders. I must have a bird of these birds on each of my 2 shoulders. We must all have the same, said the other women. If anyone is to get them, it is I that must first get them, said Ethna Ingua. Inguba, but G-U-B-A would be lenited, or aspirated, isn't that what they say? Inguba. Sounds a little bit like Inguba from the Millmount story. Anyway, never mind. That's a rabbit hole I dare not go down. Who loved Cuchulainn. What shall we do, said the women. It is I will tell you that, said Leverham, for I will go to Cuchulainn from you to ask him to get them. So she went to Cuchulainn and said, the women of Ulster desire that you will get these birds for them. Cuchulainn put his hand upon his sword as if to strike her, and he said, have the idle women of Ulster nothing better to do than to send me catching birds today? It is not for you, said Leverham, to be angry with them, for there are many of them are half blind today with looking at you from the greatness of their love for you. Flattery will get you everywhere, says the man. Barbara is picturing what birds inevitably leave behind them on each shoulder. A very, very salient point, Barbara. Ailill went to Knockany or Knockanya at Samhain in their story, which seems to be an unfortunate version of a sovereignty myth. So maybe Samhain is gathering is related to sovereignty. I kind of wouldn't be surprised. I mean, at Brunabonia, you know. My friends, say hello to you as well, Mr. Anthony, and also to the mighty Tua. Hello, Rossio's friends. How do we say? Is it Buenos tardes? I'm not sure. Please forgive me for my awful Spanish. Do not be vexed then, said Cuchulainn. Oh no, hang on, I missed something there, didn't I? I did. Sorry. Backtrack, Anthony, a little bit. Then Cuchulainn told Laeg to yoke his chariot for him, and he went in it to the lake. And he gave the birds a side stroke of his sword, so that their feet and their wings could not rise from the water. They caught them all then, and divided them among the women, so that there was not a woman among them who did not get 2 birds, but Ethna Ingoa only. Cuchulainn came last to her. It is vexed you seem to be, he said. Is it because I have given the birds to the other women? You have good reason for that, she said, for there is not a woman of them but would share her love and her friendship with you, while, as to me, no person shares my love but you alone. Do not be vexed then, said Cuchulainn, for whatever birds may come to the plain of Muirthemne or to the Bonia from this out, you shall have the two most beautiful among them. Excuse me. I'm going to take a drink. Mine is not Guinness, Brendan, and it is not drunk from an engraved glass. And no, it doesn't have vodka or rum in it, just before you ask. It was not long after that two other birds came on the lake, and they linked together with a chain of red gold. And they were singing soft music that went near to put sleep on the whole gathering. Even that, the way that is translated, soft music that went near to put sleep on the whole gathering. In other words, soft music that nearly put everyone to sleep. Cuchulainn went over towards the birds, but Laig said to him not to go, and Ethna said, if you would take our advice, you would not go near them, for there is enchantment behind these birds. Let some other birds be got for me besides these. Do you think you can put me from what I have a mind to do? Said Cuchulainn. And he said to Laig, put a stone in that sling. Laig took a stone and put it in a sling, and Cuchulainn made a cast, but it missed. And that must have been a rare event for Cuchulainn to miss a shot with his slingshot. My grief, he said. Then he took another stone and made another cast, and it passed by them. I am good for nothing, he said, for since I first took arms, I never made a bad cast till this day. See what I say? I told you so, didn't I? Then he threw his heavy spear, and it went through the flying wing of one of the birds, and the two of them dived down into the water. Cuchulainn went away then with vexation on him, and he lay down with his head against a rock, and sleep came on him. Well, fair play to you, boy. If you can use a rock as a pillow and get asleep, there's nothing would keep you awake. And he saw two women coming towards him, one of them having a green cloak about her, and the other a 5-folded crimson cloak. The woman with the green cloak went up to him and smiled at him. She gave him a stroke of a rod. The other went up to him then and smiled. Stop! I can see some of you smirking. The other went up to him then and smiled at him and gave him a stroke in the same way. And they went on doing this for a long time, each of them striking him in turn till he was more dead than alive. Aha! That kind of stroke, I see. And then they went away and left him there. All the men of Ulster saw that something had happened. Sorry, I apologise for my puerile behaviour. I'll grow up. Somebody said that if you don't grow up by the age of 50, you don't have to, so that's my excuse. All the men of Ulster saw that something had happened, and they asked if they would awaken him. Do not, said Conall, do not move him before night. After that, Cuchulainn stood up in his sleep, and the men of Ulster asked him, who was it had used him like that? But he could not speak with them. But after a while he said, bring me and lay me on my bed, not to Dundalgan, but to the speckled house at Awan. Let him where Emer his wife is, said Laig. Not so, said Cuchulainn, but bring me to the speckled house. So he was brought there, and he stopped to the end of a year in that place without speaking to any person. This is funny, right? So we also encountered this at Brunabonio in Tuckmark Etain when Midger comes back to visit Angus at Samhain after a year. One day before the next feast of Samhain, at the end of the year, Conchobar and the men of Ulster were around him in the house. That is, Laira between him and the wall, and Conall Ciarnach between him and the door, Louis of the Red Stripes beside his pillow, and Ethna Ingua at his feet. Sorry, just taking a margin note as I am wont to do. As they were sitting like this, one who had the appearance of a man came into the house to them and sat down on the side of the bed where Cuchulainn was lying. What has brought you here? Said Conall. I will tell you that, said he. It is to speak with the man lying here on the bed I am come. And if the man lying here were in his health, he would be a protection to all the men of Ulster. But as he is under great sickness and weakness, he is a better protection to them. And he stood up then, and it is what he said. If Cúchulain, son of Muirthemne, would take my friendship today, all he has seen in his sleep would be his, with no help from his army. Liban. Just trying to think about the pronunciation of that, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it for now. Liban. She who sits at the right hand of Laurie of the Quick Sword has said that the coming of Cúchulain would bring great joy to the heart of Fand, her sister. O Cúchulain, it is not long your sickness would be on you if they would come, the two daughters of Eid Avrath. Here to the south, to the plain of Muirthemne, I will send Liban to cure your sickness, Cúchulain. Who are you yourself? They said to him then. It's funny, isn't it? Instead of just saying, who are you? Who are you yourself? Very Irish way of saying things. F Nordist is saying hello F Nordist on YouTube. Welcome to the live stream. What are the birds? It doesn't actually say. It doesn't identify what species of bird they are. Gary is in the house. And Rex is in the house. Obsidian book, anyone? Yeah. Shocking, carry on. If Cúchulain, son of Muirthemne, well, yes, blah, 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 I read that. Who are you yourself? I am Angus, he said. And with that, he went out. And they did not know where he came from or where he went. And then Cúchulain sat up and spoke to them. It is time indeed, said the men of Ulster, for you to tell us all that has happened to you. I saw, he said, a vision about this time last year. And then he told them all he had seen, and of the women that had come and struck him with their rods. And what is to be done now, my master, Conchobar, he said. This must be done, said Conchobar. You must go back till you come to the same rock. It was an otherworldly rock. So Angus that he is meeting here is undoubtedly Angus Maconogue, the young son of the Dagda, the custodian of Newgrange, Sheed and Broga. So then Cúchulain set out and came to the same rock. And there he saw the same woman with the green cloak coming towards him. That is well, Cúchulain, said she. It is not well indeed. And tell me what did you want with me when you came last year, said Cúchulain. Apparently she wanted to give him a beating. It was not to harm you indeed we came, said the woman, but to ask your love. And I am come now to speak to you, she said. From Fand, daughter of Eid Avrath, for Manannán, son of the sea, has left her, and her love has fallen on you. And my own name is Liban, wife of Laurie of the Quick Sword. And I have a message for you from him, she said, that he will give you all you can wish for, if you will give him 1 day's help against Senach of the Crooked Body, and against Yochi Jewel, and against Owen of Inver, that is, Owen of the river's mouth. My weakness is on me yet, said Cúchulain, and I could not go out fighting against men today. You will not be long so, said Liban. You will be healed, and what is lost of your strength will be given back to you again, and you ought to do this much for Laurie, she said, because he is the best of the heroes of the world. In what place is he? Said Cúchulain. He is in my mell, the plain, the happy plain, the plain of happiness, she said. I will not go, said Cúchulain, until I see Emer, my wife. And you are to go for me, Leg, he said, to where she is, and tell her It was the women of the She came to me from the hills and struck me, and tell her I am getting better now, and bid her come and visit me. So Laeg went to Emer, and he told her what way Cuchulainn was. And Emer said, "It is a bad servant you are, Laeg, you that are coming and going by the hills, and that cannot find a cure for your master. And it is a pity for the men of Ulster," she said, "that they do not find a certain cure for him. If it had been Conchobar that was in bonds, or Fergus that could not sleep, or Conall Ciarnach that had wounds on him, it is Cuchulainn. It is Cuchulainn that would give them relief." And it is what she said. "My grief, son of Ringavra, you who go early and late among the hills, you are not early but late in bringing a cure for the beautiful son of Dechtere. It is a pity for the brave men of Ulster, with all the knowledgeable men and the learners among them, that they have not searched the whole face of the world for a cure for their friend Cuchulainn. If it was Fergus had lost his sleep, and that any enchantment could cure him, it is the son of Dechtere would not sleep at home till he had found a druid to do it. If it were Conall, in the same way was suffering from wounds and from sores, it is the hound would search the wide world till he would find one that would cure him. So just for those who don't know, the hound is Cuchulainn, because Cuchulainn's... If it were Laera of many gifts was wounded in battle, Cuchulainn would have searched through all Ireland to cure the grandson of Iliach. If it were on Kelthar the revengeful sleep had fallen and long sickness, night and day would see the journeys of Setanta among the hills. And of course, Setanta was the boyhood name of Cuchulainn. If it had been Furbai, chief of fighters, that lay wasting in his bed, he would have searched the ridge of the world until he had found what would save him. Kind of really rubbing it in here, aren't they? The host of the hill of Truin has killed him. They have taken from him his great courage. The hound of Muirthemne is no better than any other hound since the sleep of the hill of Brua came on him. My grief, sickness has laid hold of me, for the hound of the smith of Conchobar. It will be sickness to my heart and my body, I to fail in bringing him a cure. My grief, it hurts my heart, sickness to be on the rider of the plain, so that he could not come here to the gathering at the plain of Muirthemne. By the way, we've just reached the bottom of page 500. Yes, indeed, folks, we have been reading. But then, hang on. The book Cúchulain of Muirthemne starts on page 339 before we get excited. So we haven't actually read 500 pages. Amanda June says he was late bringing a cure into the Obsidian book with him. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Starlings, maybe. Herons. Cormorants. A heron wouldn't... Are we talking about the ones that were chained, that he put the spear through, or are we talking about the ones that were sitting on the lady's shoulders? Yeah. Where are we? Yes, we're on the top of page 501, Anthony. It is exactly where we are. It is why he does not come from Awan. The appearance he had is gone from him. My voice is weak and dead because of the way he is. A month and a quarter and a year without sleep. That is the way I am. and without hearing anyone speak pleasant words, son of Riangavra, O son of Riangavra. After she had made this complaint, Emer went forward to Awan Macha to attend on Cuchulain. And she sat on the side of the bed where he was, and it is what she was saying. Rise up, champion of Ulster. Awake from your sleep, in health and happiness. Look at the well-shaped king of Macha. He will not allow your long sleep. Look at his shoulder, smooth like crystal. Look at his drinking horns and battle spoils, not cattle spoils, actually, battle spoils. Look at his chariots that sweep the valleys. Look at the movements of his chessmen. Think on his heroes in their strength. Think on his high, fine women. Think on his kings of brave doings. Think on their high, noble queens. Think on the beginning of clear winter. Think on its wonders in their turn. Think in yourself of what it brings forth, its cold, its length, its want of beauty. This stupor, it is not good wholesome sleep. It is idleness and the fear of battle. Long sleep is the same as drunkenness. Weakness is only second to death. Awake from the sleep of the she you have drunk. Cast it off with all your great strength. You have had your fill of sweet flowery words. Rise up, O hero of Ulster. Cuchulain rose up then, and he drew his hand across his face, and he put his stupor and his heaviness off him. Then Laeg said, It is great idleness for a hero to give in to the sleep of a sick bed, because women from my mell have appeared to you, who overcame you, who bound you, who put you within the power of idle women. Rise up out of death, you who are wounded by women of the she, for your strength has come, the strength of a hero among heroes. Rise up till you go to the place of fighting men, till you do great deeds, where Lowry of the quick hand leads his men. Rise up that you may be great and leave this idleness. I'm liking this. I like this story. Whose comment is that? Desiree, God, that's one hell of a case of insomnia. It certainly is. But he didn't forget his wife. He still knows what she looks like. Then Cuchulain went again to the rock, and he saw Liban coming towards him. And she asked him again to go with her to her country. What place is Lowry in at this time? Said Cuchulain. I will tell you that, said Liban. And it is what she said. Lowry is at this time upon a clear lake, where companies of women come to. It is not tired you would be coming to this country, if you would but visit Lowry of the quick sword. A happy house ordered by a kind woman, 100 men in it that are masters of learning. The beauty of redness is on the cheek of Lowry. He shakes a wolf's head before his thin red sword. He bruises the armor of rushing hosts. He breaks the shields of heroes. His appearance in the fight is the delight of the eye. He does his brave deeds at all points. He is worth more than any other man. The greatest of fighters, the one told of in stories, has reached the country of Yucky Jewel. His hair is like rings of gold upon him. His coming is like the smell of wine. Excuse me. A man of many strange deeds, Lowry of the quick hand at sword. He does not strike till he is forced. He keeps his people in quietness. There are bridles and collars of red gold on his horses, and this is not all his riches. The house he lives in is supported by pillars of silver and of crystal. I will not go on a woman's asking, said Cuchulain. Let Laig come with me then, said Liban, to see and to know everything. Let him go then, said Cuchulain. Then Laig went along with the woman, and they went past Mailuada, the racing plain, and past the Billabuada, the tree of victory, and past Énach Auna, the gathering place of Awen, and to Énach Figa, the gathering place of the woods. Sorry, just going to take a note there also. Because this seems to indicate that there was a specific Enoch site at Awan Makkah. To Enoch Figa, the gathering place of the woods. And it was there Eid Avrat used to be with his daughters. And Liban caught Laig by the shoulder. You will not escape today, Laig, she said, unless you are protected by a woman. That is not what we were much used to up to this, said Laig, to be under woman protection. My grief forever, Cuchulain, not to be in your place now, said Liban. I would be glad indeed, he to be here, said Laig. They went away then towards the island of Lowry, and when they came to the lake, they saw a little copper ship upon the water before them. Then they went into the ship, and they came to the island, and there they went to the door of a house. And they saw a man coming towards them, and Liban said to him, Where is Lowry of the quick sword? And the man said, Lowry is putting courage into the people, and he is gathering them for battle. There will be great slaughter made there that will fill the plain of Figa. Then they went up to the house, and Laig thought he had seen it before, and yet it was strange. And in it were beds, crimson, green, white, and gold. And the great candle there was a bright, precious stone. And at the western door, where the sun goes down, there was a stud of horses with grey speckled manes, and others of red-brown. And at the eastern door were 3 tall trees of pure crimson, with lasting flowers, and birds singing from them for the young men of the king's wrath. R-A-T-H, the king's fort, not his W-R-A-T-H, nothing to do with his anger, his fort. And there was a tree at the door of the court, that there was not the like for beauty, a silver tree. And when the sun was shining on it, it was like gold. Reminds me of the silver branch. And there were 3 times 20 other trees there, and the top of every one meeting the other. And 300 could be fed from every tree with fruit that is different, that is always ripe. Wow. And there was a fountain in the great court, and 3 times 50 striped cloaks, and a shining gold pin in the ear of every cloak. And there was a vat of merry mead for dividing among the household. It is a lasting custom that it is always full, ever and always. And that sounds like the dog does cauldron, doesn't it? And in the house were 3 times 50 women, and they all bade welcome to Laig. And it is what they all said to him. There is a welcome before you, Laig, for the sake of the person with whom you came, and for the sake of him from whom you come, and for your own sake. What will you do now, Laig? Said Liban. Will you go first and speak with Fond? I will, if I know the place she is in, said Laig. I will tell you that, for she is apart in a room by herself, said Liban. Okay, partly because we're going to have to read the second half of this story next week. I will tell you that, for she is apart in a room by herself, said Liban. So they went to speak with her, and she bade Laig welcome in the same way as the others. And the meaning of the name fond is a tear that passes over the fire of the eye. When you're peeling an onion or something like that. It was for her purity she was called that, and for her beauty. For there was nothing in life with which she could be compared besides it. And when she had bade Laig welcome, she said, "For what reason did Cuchulain not come?" "He had no mind to come on a woman's asking," said Laig. "And besides that," he said, "he did not know if it was from yourself the message came." "It was from myself indeed," she said, "and let him not be long in coming, for it is on this day the battle is to be fought." Yeah, that seems like a place to stop. I know, you want me to keep going, and you want to hear the rest. If you want to hear the rest, you have to come back next week. And that's what we do here on Live Irish Myths. I read, and we stop after a certain time, and then we come back next week. There you go. Yeah, so don't forget, if you haven't done so already, if you're interested, that is, book your place on the next one-day Myths and Legends introduction course. Just checking my own messages just to see. And nothing from any of you, shockingly. And I will wait for questions and comments. "No," says Amanda June. "No," says Rossio. "Cliffhanger," says Edina. Yeah, you have to come back next week. What can I say? Yeah. But launching tomorrow, hopefully, all going well, the online version of the Introduction to Irish Mythology and Legend course with himself. Yeah. So as I say, when you see it, book it. Book it. Never mind. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing at least some of you on the online course, and maybe some of you in person at the next one-day introduction course, which is on in Glebe House, right next door to Douth, the great megalithic passage tomb of Douth, one of the three great monuments of Brunabonia, on Saturday, the 4th of April. Now, I am aware that that's Easter Saturday. We have plenty of bookings already, but there are more tickets, more spaces available, as it were. Just sending that link once again for you to join up. But don't forget, sign up for the email newsletter to get a discount off the online course, and sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Mythical Ireland. That's the address that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen throughout the live streams. Become a paying patron, support Mythical Ireland, and get a discount. The higher the level you're at, the bigger the discount you'll get, basically. Thank you very much, Brendan. Much appreciated. Imagine that I've been doing all this for 27 years, and only since the end of January this year, I am now full-time self-employed. For years, it was a passion and a glorified hobby, and just something I just loved doing. And yeah, it's now my vocation. Thank you for the wonderful reading, Anthony says. Mavanway, just what I needed after the day I've had. I would absolutely be signing up in person if I wasn't in the middle of clearing / selling my parents' house. I'll check timings of the online course. Yeah, it'd be great if you could join us there. But don't worry, because it's not a once-off thing. I can see myself repeating this. There will be other courses too, because one of the things that emerged at Saturday's introduction was there was a big interest in the Tuatha De Danann. So I can see myself doing a one-day course in Glebe House, specifically on the Tuatha De Danann, and repeating that then. The online version will probably be a little bit more detailed and a bit longer, given that it's for 1.5 hour session spread over, maybe or maybe not, but that's kind of the thinking. Yeah, and a course on Irish prehistory and archaeology, and a course on ancient astronomy, and there's so much. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it all. As I say, Saturday was a leap into the unknown to an extent, but absolutely lovely day with a lovely group of people and fabulous feedback. All of it positive. A couple of very, very minor things that we would do to change it, but I'm talking about bringing larger cups, etc. Shinny Och is saying, looking forward to the 4th of April. Are you booked? Brilliant. Looking forward to seeing you there. I hope you enjoy it. 27 years. Thank you, says, is that Linda Lay? Linda Lay on YouTube. Thanks, Linda. Oh, Barbara says, Anthony, I hope the new endeavor is profitable, but more importantly, enjoyable. Absolutely. And you know me, there's always a bit of humor thrown in. I raised a few chuckles on Saturday and a face palm from my good missus. Thank you, Anthony. Take good care all. Yes, indeed, Mariana. The same to you. Have a great week, all of you. Stay safe. Brilliant. Shinny Och is indeed booked in. Brilliant. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you there. Hopefully. We had fabulous weather on Saturday. It was sunny. It was cold at the beginning of the day, but by the time we went out and did our little tour of Douth immediately after lunch, it was just a beautiful day. It's gorgeous. So hopefully we'll have the same, you know. Plan on putting out lots of goodies for the wee folk if you do a course on the Tuatha De Danann. Yes, indeed. And a little drop of milk too. You're very welcome. Digitalis, is that the name of a flower or a plant? Cheers for tonight. Take care. That's Lily. Got one last joke, says Amanda. Hang on. Yeah, I always have one last joke because of the... Sorry. Dropping stuff here. Because of the dad joke generator. Let me just hover my phone over it. Amanda Morgan wants one last joke. Let us give her a joke. Okay, apparently I have to have my phone actually switched on. What did the whale say after eating a ship? I can't believe I ate the whole thing. Hull. Oh, brilliant. Why did the tomato blush? Or for the Americans, why did the tomato blush? Why did the tomato blush? Because it saw the salad dressing. I just got fired. As severance, my company gave me a bag of used coffee. They said it was grounds for termination. Terrible. I needed a password, 8 characters long. So I picked Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Terrible. You know what the loudest pet you can get is? A trumpet. So you didn't just get one last joke, you got 5 of them. Digitalis is also foxglove. It can be very dangerous, but it is used for heart medication in the right dose. Yes. Thanks, Desiree. Glad you enjoyed it. Foxgloves, apparently, yes. Reggae Rocker. Thanks, Anthony. It is always a pleasure to hear you live. Brilliant stuff, Reggae Rocker. We'll see you next week for the second part of the tale. Tuesday Thompson says, sorry to miss at first. I had a conflict today. Was that tea with a druid by any chance? Apparently other people were watching that. I can't believe with something else. How can it be possible that somebody would give up something else to watch this rubbish and all the bad jokes that go with it? Anyway, yes. Well, we'll see you next week. Hopefully, as I say, I'll see some of you in Glebe House on the 4th of April, and watch out in the next day or two for the launch of the online introduction course to Irish mythology and legend. Really looking forward to that, actually, and seeing you all on there. In the meantime, have a great week. Have a fabulous spring, or if you're Michael Trott and those in the Southern Hemisphere, you're heading into autumn. But I know they don't have the sort of winters we have here in northwestern Europe, so they'll be fine. But yeah, have a great spring week, and we'll see you this day next week. Let me just double check, as I always tend to do these days. There's so much on these days. Am I free next week? I am. Yes. So we'll see you, all going well, next Monday, same time. So the time difference will be the same as this week, but then, yeah, and for the next 2 weeks. And then the following week, it'll be different because we will have sprung forward here in Ireland. And all that remains for me to say at this point is thank you for being here, for your comments and camaraderie. And I sign off with the usual Icawa Colosov Slán go fóill agus tó go bogé.